Welcome to HDiiTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Now, ex-UFC star Chael Sonnen claims he and LeBron James have the same PED provider. Although he didn't reveal who this provider was, Chael Sonnen maintained his claim against LeBron James. UFC former star Chael Sonnen was just on comedian Andrew Schultz's Flagrant 2 podcast, and he made some serious accusations against LeBron James. He openly stated that he has the same performance enhancement drug provider, implying the Lakers legend actually takes PEDs, which is an incredibly serious accusation. The NBA forbids any type of PED in the tournament, but their weak PED programs been criticized for years. Chael Sonnen aired a rumor that was not as prominent in the past about LeBron James. Here we go. Fair use, Sack. Fair use, Sack.
If the world understood what LeBron did, like other basketball players will hear what LeBron does and go, well, yeah, but that doesn't matter, right? It's like a baseball player. You're hitting a stick out of the way. It doesn't matter. It's like, no. If you knew what these performance enhancers did, then you would know why it does matter.
What do you think he's
there's
doing?
only one. We have the same drug guy, if you will. I know exactly what he's doing. But there's only one golfer.
Please tell.
There's only one golfer. I'm not going to. But there's only one golfer that follows the big three. The big three is EPO, growth hormone, testosterone. That's the Lance Armstrong diet. There's one golfer, but it's Tiger Woods. Like, yes, it does matter. People say it all the time, it doesn't matter. John Daly won it. It matters. Trust me that it matters. EPO matters. It's the reason LeBron takes it. It matters. And if other basketballers understood what it did, EPO increases your red blood cells, which gives you endurance so you can play all game long. You can shoot in the fourth
More
quarter
red blood
just like
cells,
you
more
shot in the
oxygen
fourth.
in your red blood
Yes,
cells. Okay,
yes.
got you.
It's the king of performance enhancers.
So you would prefer that, especially in a fight sport, to anything else?
EPO is king.
Because it's going to give you the stamina.
Yes.
That's why cyclists do it.
That's why
Tour de
cyclists
France is.
So that fifth round energy is
The
more
human
important.
body is not made to do the Tour de France. I mean, the people that set that up are inhumane. So of course you have to go. Of course it's supernatural people that they're forcing them to take.
Now that you're not
take
competing,
beds.
are you still on?
Yeah. So testosterone. It is.
But Chael Sonnen's intention to say this about LeBron was not to accuse him of any wrongdoing. All he wants is for the stigma to go away. This is what he said. If the world understood what LeBron did, if you know what these performance enhancers did, then you would know why it does matter. We have the same drug guy, know exactly what he's doing. EPO matters. It's the reason LeBron takes it. It matters. EPO increases your red blood cells, which gives you endurance so you can play all game long. So, to be perfectly clear, we are not saying Chael Sonnen is correct when he says LeBron James is using PEDs. In recent years, hormone replacement therapy has been one of the most prominent practices amongst athletes. This isn't like the old school steroids, which were dangerous and lacked medical studies. HRT is highly beneficial for people who are past their prime age. Anybody who is a pro athlete and is well in his 30s will benefit from this therapy. Chael Sonnen was just trying to make it look more normal, but his claims can easily backfire. One of the biggest issues with the use of PEDs is that a lot of athletes do it, but there is a stigma attached to it that will be hard to shake off. Every single time a celebrity is asked about this, they tend to change the subject of the conversation. Very few humans in the world can maintain a physique like LeBron James or other veterans like him without using HRT. The ones who stay that fit and muscular without PEDs are usually genetic marvels or freaks of nature. LeBron James is definitely one of the more fortunate athletes with that type of freak genetics. So, Chael Sonnen made it. There's another video where a guy's talking about it, explaining the different HGHs and PEDs. He's trying to imply that hair loss and everything is probably just genetics. Even if you do take the drugs and stuff, he's not the only athlete. Listen, I've said it for years, for a long time. LeBron takes it, allegedly. Allegedly, he takes this stuff. He does. The guy's game as a basketball player is terrible, but as far as athlete, like I've always said, he's probably a top 5, top 10 basketball athlete of all time, not athlete all the way around, because you can't compare a person to a triathlon athlete. No. LeBron's probably in the top 10, top 5, top 10 at worst. Best athletes, like talents we've ever seen. But as far as basketball player, I mean, he's not a top 100 player. And people get mad at when I say that. It's people don't know the differentiation, excuse me, of your skill level as far as the sports you play, or if you're just using natural talent. Natural talent will, ball out for a little bit, but as you get older, you're losing that same explosiveness. And then that's when your skill basically kicks in, which is second nature. And he's never really had skill. Everybody likes to say, well, he be in the post, he does a turnaround. Yeah, he does a turnaround shot. Anybody could do a turnaround shot. I could do a turnaround shot. I could do a shot from the opposite leg fadeaway. But if it's not, how do I say it? If it's not fundamentally sound, or like a certain way you do it, it's gonna wear and tear on your body down the line. That's why you see a lot of times he's getting hurt, because he's doing all this fadeaway jump and all of this jumping up and, trying to like finish a certain way, trying to pull up and shoot, and he's doing it wrong. He's doing more of a fall away instead of just a straight shot. Like when you see Mike or Kobe do a fadeaway shot, or hell, even Wilt Chamberlain do a fadeaway shot, it's all fundamentally sound. Their body, their core is very strong, and it's very stable. LeBron's is wavering off when he's shooting a shot. Now, like I said, I believe he's taking all this stuff allegedly. Allegedly, he's taking all of these PEDs and things like that. I mean, people been seeing it for years. The muscle mass, and then not having the muscle mass. Like this one dude trying to say something. I'm like, dude, if LeBron wasn't on a special type of PED or HGH or whatever other drugs it is, then he would not have lost that much muscle when he left Miami going into Cleveland. And he had cramps. He was the only one cramping during the game. Why was he cramping? Because when you're taking those type of drugs, it takes a lot of the water out of your system. That's why you have to stay hydrated. You got to drink a lot. And if at the time, I believe if he was drinking liquor or alcohol a lot along with it, it's going to dry your muscles out. Now, LeBron is a workaholic. He works out. He gets his body in shape. That's one of the things I give him over Shaquille O'Neal, is that he kept himself in shape. He kept himself up to date. He's a workaholic as far as in the gym, in the workout room, the weight room. He's very strong and tough at that. Not taking that away from him. But the other things, you know what I'm saying, you have to hold into question. But I believe him. I believe Chael. I don't see why he would just come out and say it. Like, people were saying, well, he needs to, I think LB, shout out to LB. That's my boy there. But LB was saying that LeBron ought to sue for defamation. And I'm like, well, if LeBron sues, dog, then unless he can debunk this guy, I don't really see LeBron paying attention to this. LeBron, in my opinion, is going to ignore it, continue to sit out until he's ready to come back to play for the Lakers. The league's gonna push the Lakers like they always do with LeBron. Excuse me, y'all. They be killing me at work. But I mean, we'll see, man. I don't I don't know. Do I believe that he's taken something or has taken something? Yeah, I mean, he's played 20 years without a severe injury until now, like later in his career. You can't stop Father Time no matter how much you use. But it's incredible. Like I said, LeBron James is going to get credit for longevity stats, but as far as like his gameplay on the court, I've always said he's one of the most overrated superstars in history. He is. Taking nothing against him, but people are gonna take it that way. Everybody think you hate when you're being honest. It's like, no. LeBron fans try their best to over glorify him, but they want to tear down other athletes, which is sad. Now there's a guy on YouTube you guys can check out. He explains everything about it. More plates, more dates. He explains it and stuff. And the video cool. It's a lot of F-bombs. I can't play that video because he curses way too much. And I don't need my video demonetized because this dude loves to cuss. Like, he loves to cuss. I just don't understand it. Like, you can make a point without using the F-bomb all day. But this was from 2 years ago. He made it in. He was basically saying, oh, well, everybody does it. And we know everybody does it. It's not just him who does it. We know this. This is what I don't understand about people when they're explaining stuff. It's like we're not singling out LeBron as he's the only one who's done it. He's not. He's not. And it's also true what he says. You don't have to have a big muscle mass to show to basically, you don't have to have a big muscle mass to show that you're taking it. But I mean, it does add to it. Like, you start having traps in different areas and places. And this was all a transformation from year 1 to year 2. If you look at this, hold on. I want to show you guys something. What's his name? Hold on. But it's different forms of, PD, and then the other drug the guy said. And this is all allegedly. what's the other one name? Yeah, EPOs. Yeah, the EPOs basically help your red blood cells. Like helps your bone marrow produce red blood cells. But the HGH the guy was saying is like it's better when you're sleep because it helps your body recover. I mean, yeah, he's taken these stuff before and all of that. Every athlete does it, but I tell people my thing with LeBron is his fundamentals and his skill level. To me, is not that high. He's made it. He's made it this long by not playing defense, running people over. He's never been that good defensively. He's okay. He's great at like recovery, like coming to block the shot from the weak side. He used to be great at that because he was so athletic. And then he could chase you down, block, and things of that nature. It's like he's always been a great talent and a great athlete. But as far as basketball player, he's never been that good. Everybody's gonna hate on the video and say he has been. I'm like, if you feel he's great, that's cool. I don't see it. I really don't. But if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But but Chaelsonnen, I mean, I don't think he would have made these claims if he didn't have any proof behind it. And to me, yeah, LeBron could sue for defamation. People are getting mad and going crazy, but we've been known about this. Of course he's taking it. There's a lot of athletes that take it. It's just that LeBron has lasted longer because of the rule changes, the lack of physicality in the game. When you take away the physicality of the game, and then of course the structure of the game, you alter it. Of course he could play 20 some years. LeBron probably could play 4 more years, 5 more years because of the rule changes and because of the league. The league is soft. There's no defense. The lanes are wide open. He can offensive foul anytime he want. So yeah, I mean that's why he's lasted this long. People act like he's lasted this long because he's a freak of nature. No, the game is soft. If the game was still as physical as it was back in the day in the 80s or the 90s or the 70s, especially the 70s, LeBron probably would have played a good 8-9 years, maybe 10 at most, if that. But he would have been coming off the bench. His game doesn't fit. This is why I keep telling people, when you're comparing great players, you go by eras. Like that's why I said I just say my favorite 5 players. That's all I say. But as far as greatest players of all time, it's like, dude, you gotta do a 5 of each era. You can't just say that, Shaq is the greatest or Mike's the greatest of all time. It's like, dude, Mike never played against Wilt Chamberlain in his prime. He never played against Bill Russell. I don't want to hear all this arguments. It was only 10 teams then. Well, dude, it was weak in Michael Jordan's East in the 90s as well. They diluted the league by implementing these expansion teams, which altered the Eastern Conference because they took all of the competition out of the East. You only had probably 2 teams. All the teams were in the West because the West was having like 60, like 2 or 3, I think 2 60+ winning teams. It was crazy. The West was crazy at that time. But look, I'm not taking away from people. Like I tell people, if you feel LeBron is your greatest of all time, that's cool. But stop forcing other people to like him. Like, there's people that don't like Kobe, but I'm not going to force them to like Kobe. I'm not going to force them to like Akeem. I'm not going to force them. Everybody's like, you got Dennis Rodman as number 3. No way Dennis Rodman number 3. I said, yes, he is number 3 all time. In my book, the guy could rebound. He's probably the greatest rebounder in history, one of them. He can pass. He could defend. He can. The guy can post up. He can score on the blocks. I mean, the guy can do whatever you need him to do. So that's the point I'm trying to tell people. And defensively, how the teams were, you know, he's able to guard many people. And not only that, Dennis Rodman was real strong. Like real strong. Very physical. Was fundamentally sound, knew how to cut you off from getting to your spots, knew how to get in your head by doing mind game things like grab your booty, grab your arm, or do something like egregious to get you to get upset and go off. But I mean, we'll see. Do I think Chael Sonnen is on to something? I think he is, but I mean, I don't think he would have made these claims if he didn't have proof. I think he has proof. I just think people are very sensitive that, you know, but does other athletes and other people do it, or other people? Yeah, they are. LeBron has good genetics as far as what he's done, but when you alter the game and make the game softer and you open the lanes and you take away the big man, you take away the physicality out the game, he's able to play 20 years. I mean, it's just the facts. It's nothing egregious about that. When Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was playing, it was physical. He was able to last longer because he was able to get a Magic Johnson. He had a Wilkes around him, a Norm Nixon, Michael Cooper. Then they added Michael Thompson with James Worthy. So that helped him extend his years because he didn't have to do as much. You know, whereas Kobe, they just took away his talent. And he was forced to have to do everything. But that's another story. But let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. If you guys love what you hear, you can donate to the page by going to my description box, hitting that link to my Cashapp where you can donate whatever your heart's desire. You guys can also super chat, you know, when the video is live or premiering. And you guys can leave a super thanks. A super thanks is basically after the video's done, and you can leave that in the comment section. So thank you guys, man, for listening. We're out. Deezy.